And welcome back, everybody, to some more Carolina Panthers Madden 20 franchise. We're in the last game of the season already. It's week 17. The Saints lost last week, so they are 9-5-1. Carolina 10-4-1 with the last-minute victory against the Colts last week. So this game is for the NFC South because the Saints have the tiebreaker if they win. And so the Panthers, a win today, and they'll be the number 2 seed. So a lot of implications in this game. It's like we talked about last week. It's the difference between going on the road next week and playing a team like the Rams, or getting that bye week and playing a playoff game at home. So big game for both teams, as we can see Cam Newton coming out to pump up the crowd. Big game, playoff atmosphere. It is like a playoff game, although both of these teams have clinched a spot in the playoffs, but still a playoff game. It's a championship game. It's for the NFC South championship. So big game, as you can see, 10-4-1, 9-5-1. This is it. This is for all the marbles in the NFC South. So yeah, exciting game. Hopefully Panthers can pull out the win. As we see Cam, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's got 4,000 yards. His first 4,000 yard season since his rookie year. So the second 4,000 yard season of his career this year. Having a great season for the Panthers, especially here in the second half. As we can see, that's not a good throw by Cam. But here in the second half of the season, the Panthers, or Cam Newton for the Panthers, has had a great season. So Panthers were forced to punt. As we see, Drew Brees, of course, he always shows up. 4,300 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Definitely MVP caliber numbers once again for Brees. I mean, as a Panthers fan, I don't really like the Saints, but here's a fumble forced by Luke Kuechly. And Gerald McCoy gets the fumble recovery. But, you know, you got to respect Drew Brees. I mean, he's still getting it done. This late in his career, he is still playing at a high level. And, I mean, you can't help but respect Drew Brees. Even though as a Panthers fan, I really do not like the Saints. You can still respect a guy like Drew Brees. Does it the right way. Doesn't really, you know, as we see the playoff picture here, once again, this is for the second seed in the NFC. As you can see the playoff picture, the Giants, 9-6, could possibly win the NFC East. As we can see, DJ Moore, what he did last week, 125 yards off of 8 catches and a touchdown. He's looking to build off of that game. As we get to January, the big games, the playoff games, it's the right time to catch fire, but there's an interception by P.J. Williams. Oh, bad throw by Cam. Bad throw by Cam. That's his second bad throw. Like the first one, luckily there wasn't a safety behind that play on the first one, and that one he's just trying to feed it to Torrey Smith and P.J. Williams. He's right there for the pick, but the Saints did nothing with it. And the Panthers get the ball back, but there's a sack on third down by Cam Jordan. He wrecked Cam in the first game between these two teams. But the Panthers would punt, and the Saints would go 3 and out. So the Panthers get the ball back, and on 2nd and inches, Cam Newton delivers a strike to Curtis Samuel. That puts Curtis Samuel over 1,000 yards receiving for the season. You just can't say enough good things about what he's done this year. As you can see, Greg Olsen over the middle. Could this be the final game in Charlotte for Greg Olsen as a Panther? That's one of the storylines going into this game for the great Greg Olsen. As you can see, Cam just delivers a pass right there. Perfect strike to DJ Moore, who was wide open in the end zone. Panthers, now they get off to a hot start. This is what they've needed to do. They've been behind by a touchdown early in game after game after game, putting themselves in bad situations, but The Panthers get the ball back again. The Saints offense is not looking good today, and the Panthers defense is dominating. As you can see, Greg Olsen there looking to, if this is going to be his final game, of course, if the Panthers win, he will play here in 2 weeks in the divisional round. But he's not wanting to leave anything off of that field. He's looking to leave everything on it. And there is Christian McCaffrey with a nice play there. Puts Carolina at the 22 here, halfway through the second quarter here. 3rd and 4 from the 4, and Cam, lucky that wasn't picked off. Looking for Christian McCaffrey in the end zone. He was covered, so that's going to set up a chip shot now for Graham Gano. As you can see, lucky that wasn't picked off. Threw it into coverage, but here comes Graham Gano. And would you believe it? It's off the post. Graham Gano, man, made all his kicks last week. This week starts off with that. But again, the Panthers defense forces the Saints to punt. And so we've got 5 seconds left. Here is Graham Gano from 49 yards out, and he makes it. So we're going to go into halftime 10-0. The Panthers defense, and to a lesser extent the offense obviously has made some plays, but the Panthers defense has been on fire in the first half. The Saints have done nothing with the ball. And you'll see these stats here. 36 total yards, holding them to 1 rushing yard in that first half and 35 passing yards. So the Panthers defense playing with a sense of urgency, playing like the division is on the line this week. As you can see, that's kind of a meaningless game there between the Falcons and the Bucks. Both teams are eliminated from the playoffs, so. But it's good to see they're tied 14-14. I hope they tie just because I think that'd be funny. But anyway, as we go into the second half, Carolina, I mean, if they can cut the mistakes out, and Graham Gano can make some kicks, I mean, the defense, obviously you can't expect to shut out the Saints in a full game. So the Panthers are still going to have to make some plays. They're going to have to put some more points on the board. 10 points. You can't feel comfortable with 10 points against the Saints, no matter how bad their offense is playing. As we can see, 3rd down and 8. Drew Brees back to pass, and he's going to be sacked by Brian Burns. And that is going to be the rookie record, 15.5 sacks. That breaks Jermaine Kearse's 14.5 sacks he had with the Titans as a rookie. As you can see, a beautiful throw by Cam Newton. Curtis Samuel, though, goes down with an injury, so this is the 2nd straight week that Curtis Samuel's been hurt. And that's not what you want to see from one of your big playmakers, but, he's stayed on the sidelines, which in Madden, that's usually a good sign. He probably got the wind knocked out of him or something like that. But here comes Graham Gano, and he is going to make another kick, so 13-0. Graham Gano trying to redeem himself from missing what was an old school extra point, bouncing it off of the goal post. As you can see, on 3rd and 12, the Panthers force another punt. So here comes Carolina now. They're up 13-0, and here comes Christian McCaffrey down to the 13. Carolina in command of this game. As you can see, on 1st and 10, Cam. He's going to find DJ Moore again in the end zone. 19-0 Panthers. And yes, Graham Gano missed the extra point after this touchdown. But Carolina up 19-0. And the way the Panthers defense is playing, the way they're completely shutting down the Saints offense, this almost seems like insurmountable at this point. 3-score lead for the Panthers. And the momentum is just carrying. As you can see, 3rd and 12, Drew Brees trying to make something happen, but he's going to be stopped well short. But Dante Jackson goes down with an injury. So Carolina holding their breath with one of their big-time playmakers on defense going down. And now 2nd down and 10. Cam, what a play by Greg Olsen, diving into the air, making that catch. Looked like old school Greg Olsen in his prime. So again, You know, leaving nothing out there, leaving it all on the field. And on third down, Christian McCaffrey makes the catch, gets the first as we approach the beginning of the fourth quarter. Carolina still up 19-0, and here he goes. He's going to slide, does the right slide, push the right button that time. So Cam with the big run to the 45-yard line. Carolina in complete control of this game. Just don't turn it over. As you can see, Curtis Samuel is back into the game. He makes a nice play there. Gets him down to the 22-yard line. And here comes Cam now, the next play on first down. And he is going to find Curtis Samuel in the end zone. Touchdown Panthers, 25-0. Gano makes the extra point, 26-0 Panthers. In the fourth quarter, nobody saw this coming. I mean, Carolina is looking like Super Bowl contenders in this game as they get the ball back again. And there is another play. It is a touchdown to DJ Moore. Carolina toying with the Saints as they did go down the field and they settled for a field goal. That makes it 32-3 with that play, and he just mosses the defense there. Double coverage, gets above the double coverage, makes a one-handed catch, his 10th touchdown of the season, 3rd of the game. Nice play by DJ Moore. The Saints again score another meaningless field goal, so the final score 32-6. I mean, who saw this coming? And now it's looking like, you know, the Packers were 11-0 to start out the season. They end off the season. They lost this week. They end the season 12-4, and Carolina's coming into the playoffs on a 5-game winning streak and caps it off by winning the NFC South with a commanding, dominating 32-6 win against the New Orleans Saints. Just completely dominating one of the best teams in the NFL. We finish 11-4-1, 5 straight wins. The wild card goes to the Saints. They are 9-6-1. So in 2 weeks, it will be the playoffs. I'll be back with some end of the season stats and standings. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in 2 weeks in the playoffs.